Los Angeles was really starting to grate on me. Every time I found myself on another freeway, I felt my chest tighten. I was stuck in a city that was stuck in a circle jerk of traffic and clumsily stroked egos. It was the age of swiping left on any man with a professional headshot in his poorly curated dating profile. If I had to hear about one more problem regarding pilot season or stressing about meeting a self-tape deadline, I was going to have a mental breakdown with no ulterior self-promotional value. I was becoming the jaded piece of work 20-something that worked in the industry and didn't like herself enough to get the hell out of Los Angeles. I was attending a Christmas party in some swanky apartment off Franklin when something in me finally snapped. Supposedly, the couple who was throwing the party was featured on the hottest show of last season, which was Marie Kondo's Tidying Up. And everyone who was a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend was flocking to the door with their arms filled with figgy pudding and spiked cider. I could hear the social buzzing of the flies. Oh my God, is this actually where they filmed the show? Can you show us where she prayed to the house to thank it? I rolled my eyes and I made my way to the spread of free artisanal cheeses. Within minutes, the only straight man in the room sniffed me out, and I watched out of boredom as he embarrassed himself by trying to flirt. You kind of have this Tara Reid thing going on. It's hot. I squinted at him. Tara Reid, is this 1998? I hated everything about this entire interaction, but I just kept bantering, desperate for an outlet for all the pent-up anger and the predictability that filled my days working as a temp for movie studios. Can I get you a drink? I looked down at the drink currently in my hand. Yeah, they're free here, so the pickup line doesn't really work. Everything in my body was just telling me, walk away, okay? My conscience was trying to talk me down. You're not a vicious person. You're just burnt out, and you probably should have skipped the party, but you didn't. This guy was such a skis-ball, though. I felt justified in unleashing everything I had been keeping pent up about these types of men. The types of men that I continued to get hired working for, who insisted that I wear skirts or dresses to the office instead of slacks. The types of men that told me in Malibu I was a 7.5, but in the Midwest you'd be a solid 10. Types of men who always started off conversations with, "Are you an actress?" and then would scoff when I told them I primarily write. What a waste. As if they were somehow complimenting me. Then the types of men who told me to calm down whenever I showed any kind of emotion other than happiness or complete understanding, even when they told me horrible things. The types of men who couldn't afford to pay me a fair wage but could invite me to Soho House after work for drinks. Poor guy. He was just another greasy 30-something clocking in under 5'6" with a Napoleon complex trying to pick up a dumb blonde for casual sex at a Christmas party. So, what do? A common enough opening, seemingly harmless, but merely a setup to showcase his self-proclaimed ability to flirt. You know what? What do you think I do? You're an actress? I shook my head. Oh, you're a model. I'm a writer, actually. Took a sip of whatever fruity mixture he was drinking and decided, yeah, I follow a lot of female writers on Instagram. 'Cause they're hot. Was a good response. All right, your turn. You can dish it out, but can you guess what I do? I set my drink down. I have always prided myself on being a keen observer of strangers. One of my favorite ways to pass the time is to people watch, filling in the blanks of their lives like Mad Libs. But I have never had an opportunity to see how right I was. I looked him over. You have the facial hair of someone on the outskirts of the industry, like an assistant casting director or a movie premiere caterer. You have elbow patches on your corduroy jacket, so you probably pride yourself on knowing a lot about the human condition. You studied philosophy or psychology in college. It's a toss-up because the girls were really easily impressed and open-minded enough to not care about your height, so it got you laid. You saw the degree through to the end and are still paying off the debt, but you reread your only copy of Freud's essays on the theory of sexuality every few years. You can sprinkle in quotes at parties and seem like an intellectual. But you make most of your money doing something horribly boring, like real estate or an assistant in some big financial company. You're too much of a coward to take a big risk, to commit yourself to something inconsistent. He had this big, stupid grin on his face, and his brows were furrowed. I didn't need to ask, but I did anyway. How did I do? I work for a casting director part-time. I'm a real estate agent full-time. I have a master's degree in psychology because I am fascinated with human sexuality, kinks specifically. He paused before trying to win some small shred of dignity back by asking me a question I was statistically bound to get wrong. What about my name? If you know so much about me, what's my name? Michael. No. Brett. You look like your name would be Brett. I picked up my drink again and drank it for reassurance that I was not a horrible person, that I did not just absolutely break this man. He laughed a little, that uncomfortable, forceful laugh that's mostly just pushing air out of your nose in disbelief. Did someone put you up to this? Put me up to what? You approached me. He took his black leather wallet out of his back pocket and handed me the driver's license. His name was actually Brett. What's wrong with my facial hair? I had broken him. Just a month ago, I told another poor soul he clearly struggled with depression, and that sent him into a spiral of existential dread and quarter-life self-discovery about his sex addiction and suicidal tendencies. Nothing's wrong with it. Look, I'm sorry I said anything. I tried to excuse myself, but he touched my arm to get me to stay. No, don't be sorry. I just want to know what you meant. Listen, I don't even know what I meant, okay? I could just tell. Look, what are you drinking? I'll fill up your glass as a white flag, okay? Okay, well, I'm doing the make-your-own jingle juice. It's mostly just punch, just a splash of vodka. I'm a real sissy when it comes to hard liquor. Ooh, I was being tested. The spirit of Christmas was testing my ability to shut the hell up and walk away, and I was failing miserably. I just took his cup and I made him the drink that he requested. And then desperately, he followed me to the folding tables with the miscellaneous bottles of alcohol and mixers. All right, you never told me what you were drinking. I feel like it would tell me a lot about you as a person. With the vodka still in my hand, I poured myself an admirable helping, and I drank it straight. What did you learn about me as a person? You're an alcoholic? I laughed for the first time all evening. No, I'm just depressed. I wanted to feel proud of myself for being able to sum up this person so entirely within 5 minutes. I wanted to be able to pat myself on the back from graduating from the school of hard knocks and becoming a full-blown social sociopath, but I felt awful. How boring life becomes when every dickwad at a party is exactly like every other dickwad at every other party. Sorry for cursing. The alarm on my phone went off. I had 10 minutes left before I needed to move my car, the most predictable and poetic sign from God that I could not stay in LA anymore. There was nowhere left to park.